Welcome to the longest running quiz show in the area. Categories. High school students compete to answer questions on topics from art to science, history to current events. And now, here's your categories host, John Bartell.
Hi, welcome to Categories. Today we're bringing you a matchup of the Battle of the Big Cats as we have the Shawnee Mission Northwest Cougars versus the Blue Valley West Jaguars. Let's go ahead and meet our competitors. First, from Northwest.
I'm Blaine Ragsdale and I'm a junior.
I'm Kendra Jones and I'm a senior.
I'm Thomas Sheldon, junior. I'm Michael Griffin, I'm a junior.
Jens Thompson, I'm a junior.
And our competitors from Blue Valley West. Kevin.
Kevin Protzman, senior.
Jonathan Park, senior.
Stephen Wong, senior. Whit Womack, sophomore.
Gib Baltzer, senior.
And as we start our first round here on Categories, we will ask a question of one team, and if they respond correctly, they earn a point. If they respond incorrectly, the other team will get a chance to steal. We did a coin toss before we started taping, and it was won by Shawnee Mission Northwest. So Cougars, here is the first category. It is U.S. history. This glamorous First Lady saved many important state papers from destruction when the British burned the White House in 1814. Who was she? Time on that. West, chance to steal this U.S. history category. This glamorous First Lady saved many important papers from destruction when the British burned the White House in 1814. Who was she? Gib.
Dolly Madison.
It is Dolly Madison. Jaguars, you do get the next category, which is journalism. It is a long question, so please pay attention. In 1883, he bought the New York World and increased its circulation tenfold. His sensational style of reporting became known as yellow journalism. In the 1890s, he and William Randolph Hearst were involved in a circulation war. He also endowed the School of Journalism at Columbia University. Name this crusading publisher. Gib?
James Pulitzer.
It is Pulitzer. We will take that. Cougars, you have the next category, which is mathematics. I need two answers here. In a math class with 20 students, there are 12 girls. When picking students at random, what is the probability and what are the odds of picking a girl? Thomas?
The probability is 3 out of 5. The odds are 3 to 5.
What was the last one? I'm sorry.
3 to 5.
I cannot accept that. Jaguars, chance to steal this mathematics category. In a math class with 20 students, there are 12 girls. When picking students at random, what is the probability and what are the odds of picking a girl? Stephen.
The probability is 3 out of 5 and the odds are 3 to 2.
3 to 2, that is correct. Jaguars, you do get the next category, which is literature. After being censored for 52 years, the novel Lady Chatterley's Lover was finally allowed in South Africa in 1980. The novel was written by which English author? Stephen?
Alan Paton.
Cannot accept that. Cougars, chance to steal this literature category. After being censored for 52 years, the novel Lady Chatterley's Lover was finally allowed into South Africa in 1980. The novel was written by which English author? Blaine?
Charlotte Bronte.
That is incorrect. It's D.H. Lawrence. D.H. Lawrence. Cougars, you do get the next category, however, and it is current events. Who was recently appointed as the Supreme Court's third female justice of the United States and its first Hispanic justice? Kendra.
Sotomayor.
Sotomayor is correct. West, you have the next category, which is U.S. presidents. Our earliest presidents, of course, were born in the American colonies. But who was the first president born in the United States? Whit.
Martin Van Buren.
Martin Van Buren is the answer we're looking for. Northwest, famous names is your category. Born in El Paso in 1880, he became the cowboy king of the silent movies. He made his first film in 1910. Because of his horsemanship and easygoing manner, he quickly became a star. One of his most popular movies was Riders of the Purple Sage. Name him. Time on that. Jaguars, chance to steal this famous names category. Born in El Paso in 1880, he became the cowboy king of silent movies. He made his first film in 1910. Because of his horsemanship and easygoing manner, he quickly became a star. One of his most popular movies was Riders of the Purple Sage. Name him. Kevin.
William S. Hart.
That is incorrect. It is Tom Mix. Tom Mix. Jaguars, you do get the next category, which is sports. What is the Scottish name for the Wood Golf Club marked number 2? Time on that. Cougars, chance to steal this sports category. What is the Scottish name for the Wood Golf Club marked number 2? Blaine?
Putter.
It is not the putter. It is called the brassy. The brassy. Northwest, you have the next category. It is U.S. monuments. In one hand, the Statue of Liberty in one hand of the Statue of Liberty is a torch held aloft. In the other hand is a tablet with what inscription? Lane?
July 4th, 1776.
That is correct. West, you have the next category, which is chemistry. Identify chemical element 99, named for a famous physicist. Jonathan?
Einsteinium.
Einsteinium is what we're looking for. Cougars, geography is your category. Identify the point on the Earth's surface diametrically opposite of latitude 40 degrees north, longitude 70 degrees west. Time on that. West, chance to steal this geography category. Identify the point on the Earth's surface diametrically opposite of latitude 40 degrees north, longitude 70 degrees west. Stephen.
50 degrees south and 250 degrees west.
Incorrect. It actually is 40 degrees south, 110 degrees east. That's what we're looking for. Jaguars, you get the next category, which is U.S. history. Omar Bradley was affectionately known as the GI's General, and this nickname is said to have given him a greater sense of pride than his rank in the Army. What final military rank did he achieve during his career? Jonathan?
Colonel.
Incorrect. Cougars, chance to steal this U.S. history category. Omar Bradley was affectionately known as the GI's General, and this name is said to have given him a greater sense of pride than his rank in the Army. What final military rank did he achieve during his career? Blaine.
5-star general.
5-star general is correct. Current events is the next category for you, Northwest. What website is establishing new restrictions on editing of articles to prevent pranksters from posting misinformation? Michael?
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia is correct. And with that correct answer, you have closed the gap to be a score of Shawnee Mission Northwest 4, Blue Valley West 5. Jaguars, you have the next category, which is geography. The mouth of the Mississippi River is in Louisiana. In what state is the river's source? Gib.
Minnesota.
Minnesota is correct. Northwest, music is the category. Rock and roll was born with the song Rock Around the Clock. In 1955, the hit soared to #1 spot on the pop charts and remained there for 8 weeks. What group recorded the song? Blaine?
The Beatles.
It is not the Beatles. West, chance to steal this music category. Rock and roll was born with the song Rock Around the Clock. In 1955, the hit soared to the #1 spot on the pop charts and remained there for 8 weeks. What group recorded the song? Time on that. It was Bill Haley and the Comets. Bill Haley and the Comets. West, you do get the next category, which is literature. What do you call a short poem describing a picturesque episode or scene of rustic life? You might think of Alfred Lord Tennyson. Cougars, chance to steal this literature category. What do you call a short poem describing a picturesque episode or a scene of rustic life? You might think of Alfred Lord Tennyson. Blaine?
Limerick.
It is not a limerick, it is an idyll. An idyll. Cougars, you get the next category, which is U.S. history. In a 1981 presidential assassination attempt, a bullet struck James Brady in the head. What was Mr. Brady's position in the Reagan administration? Blaine?
Chef.
He was not the chef. Jaguars, chance to steal this U.S. history category. In a 1981 presidential assassination attempt, a bullet struck James Brady in the head. What was Mr. Brady's position in the Reagan administration? Kevin?
Was he a bodyguard?
He was not a bodyguard. He was the press secretary. Press secretary. Jaguars, you do get the next category, which is labor. The temporary stopping of work by employees to force their employer to meet terms for better working conditions and wages is called a what? Kevin?
A strike?
It is called a strike. Cougars, geography is your category. All continents except one have large deserts. Which one does not have a desert? Michael?
Antarctica.
That is incorrect. West, chance to steal this geography category. And all continents except one, Whit.
Europe.
It is Europe. Jaguars, you get the next category, which is another U.S. history question. After the passage of the Women's Suffrage Amendment, who was the first president elected? Kevin?
Was it Hoover?
It was not Hoover. Cougars, chance to steal this U.S. history category. After the passage of the Women's Suffrage Amendment, who was the first president elected? Blaine?
Roosevelt.
It was not Roosevelt, it was Harding. Harding. Cougars, you do get the next category, which is literature. National Velvet, Big Enough, and Thunderhead are novels about what animals? Kendra?
Bald eagle.
It is not a bald eagle. Jaguars, chance to steal this literature category. National Velvet, Big Enough, and Thunderhead. Jonathan?
Horses.
Horses is correct. Jaguars, you do get the next category, which is planet Earth. How long does it take the Earth to rotate 45 degrees? Stephen?
3 hours?
3 hours is correct. With that correct answer, you've opened up a bit of a lead with Blue Valley West leading 10 to Shawnee Mission Northwest 4. Cougars, you have a mathematics question. Arrange these fractions in ascending order. 2/3, 5/7, 8/11, 9/13. Blaine?
2/3, 5/7, 9/13, and I don't remember the last one. Sorry.
That is incorrect. We will finish the question here with Blue Valley West with a chance to steal this mathematics question. Arrange these fractions in ascending order. 2/3, 5/7, 8/11, 9/13. Stephen?
9/13, 2/3, 5/7, and 8/11.
That is incorrect. The correct order is 2/3, 9/13, 5/7, 8/11. That's a tough one to do without scratch paper. I understand that one. As we head into the halftime here, we have Blue Valley West leading 10 to Shawnee Mission Northwest 4. At this time of our program, we go to a representative from each school who's going to give us a campus update. And from Shawnee Mission Northwest, we have Blaine. Blaine, what is happening with the Cougars?
Well, the boys cross country just got third in state, and the boys soccer team also got third in state. The gymnastics got third in state as well. The fall musical will be opening up this week, the 12th. It's Paint Your Wagon. And over the Thanksgiving holiday, the band is going to Hollywood to march in the Christmas parade. The blood drive is tomorrow, the 10th, and our canned food drive is starting next week.
Excellent. So was this the first musical that was in the new auditorium?
Yes.
Oh, that's pretty exciting. I've been in the auditorium just recently. It's a very nice addition. Very nice. Nicely done. All right, West. I believe, Jonathan, you're going to give us the campus update for the Jaguars. So what is happening with the Blue Valley West Jaguars?
All right. Our girls sports teams are finishing up a successful season. Our girls cross country team got second in state, as did the girls volleyball team. So congratulations to them. Our theater department just finished up their fall play. This weekend was Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. Our school was recently voted Cool School through KCTV5's Cool School program, so that was held Friday. And our band is preparing for a trip to London coming up later this year. And our school is also having a blood drive this Friday.
Excellent. So not only academics and athletics for both teams, but service-oriented as well. Nice job, both teams. As we head into the second round, it is our lightning round where the question is placed on the floor for either team to answer. If a team does respond incorrectly, the other team will have a chance to steal. So both teams, let me remind you that you need to be called on before you answer, especially in the heat of battle here in the lightning round. Both teams, the category is literature. The original uncut version of this classic novel, Sister Carrie, was published for the first time in 1981. Name the author. Jonathan.
Stephen King.
That is incorrect. Cougars, chance to steal this literature question. The original uncut version of the classic novel, Sister Carrie, was published for the first time in 1981. Name the author. We're looking for Theodore Dreiser. Theodore Dreiser. U.S. history is the next category for both teams. John W. Hinckley Jr. attempted to assassinate Ronald Reagan. What man was successful in his attempt to assassinate William McKinley? Gibb?
John Smith.
That is incorrect. Cougars, chance to steal this U.S. history category. John W. Hinckley Jr. attempted to assassinate Ronald Reagan. What man was successful in his attempt to assassinate William McKinley? Blaine?
John Hinckley Sr.
That is incorrect. It is Leon Zolgos. Leon Zolgos. Current events for both teams. Preparing for Hurricane Jimena, a seafront hotel in Cabo San Lucas tied a fountain statue of which Roman god to a tree? Kendra.
Neptune.
It is Neptune. Very good. Art for both teams. Why was Thomas Hart Benton's painting of Persephone denounced as too daring? Gibb.
She was naked.
She was naked. It was a nude painting. Both teams, geography is your category. I'll give you the new names of old places, and you give me the old names. All right, there are 3 in the list. Istanbul, Thailand, and Iran. Give me the old names for Istanbul. Gibb.
Constantinople, Siam, and Persia.
Very good. Those are the 3 we're looking for. English is the next category for both teams. Name the Pacific island, now a British colony, which was discovered by Carteret in 1767, but not inhabited until 23 years later when the mutineers of the HMS Bounty landed there. Name this island. Gibb?
Fiji.
It is not Fiji. Cougars, chance to steal this English category. Name the Pacific island, now a British colony, which was discovered by Carteret in 1767, but not inhabited until 23 years later when the mutineers of the HMS Bounty landed there. Name this island. Blaine?
Easter Island.
It is not Easter Island, it is Pitcairn Island. Pitcairn Island. U.S. history for both teams. After John F. Kennedy federalized the National Guard and sent in Army troops, an African-American student was finally registered at the University of Mississippi on October 1st, 1962. Name him. Time on that. It is James Meredith. James Meredith. Colleges for both teams is the category. Give me the state location of each of these 3 institutions. Purdue, Duke, and Dartmouth. Gib.
Purdue is Indiana, and Duke is North Carolina, and Dartmouth is New Hampshire.
That is correct. All three of those. Science is the next category for both teams. Name the only 2 planets in our solar system with no moons. Stephen.
Mercury and Venus.
Mercury and Venus. With that correct answer, you've opened up a lead of 14-5. English history is the next category. Lord Salisbury was Prime Minister when Winston Churchill was elected to the House of Commons in 1900. From 1900 to 1940, when Winston Churchill himself became Prime Minister, 8 other men held the job. Name any one of them. Gib.
Neville Chamberlain.
Neville Chamberlain is not on my list, sorry. Cougars, chance to steal this English history category. Lord Salisbury was Prime Minister when Winston Churchill was elected to the House of Commons in 1900. From 1900 to 1940, when Churchill himself became Prime Minister, 8 other men held the job. Name any one of them. Time on that, we would have accepted a host of them, including Balfour, Campbell Bannerman, Asquith, Lloyd George, Bonner Law, Baldwin, and Ramsay MacDonald. So a lot of names there. Next category for both teams is World War II. Born near Greenville, Texas, he was the most decorated U.S. soldier of World War II. He received 24 medals from the U.S. government, including the Medal of Honor. Who was he? Whit?
York.
It is not York. Cougars, chance to steal this World War II category. Born near Greenville, Texas, he was the most decorated U.S. soldier of World War II. He received 24 medals from the U.S. government, including the Medal of Honor. Who was he? Michael.
General MacArthur.
It is not MacArthur. We're looking for Audie Murphy. Audie Murphy. Next category for both teams is spelling. It is defined as the military draft. Spell conscription. Michael.
CONSCRIPTION.
That is correct. That is conscription. Both teams, another U.S. history category question. Tell me the number of the following amendment to the Constitution. Here it is. Excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed. Blaine.
The 4th Amendment.
It is not the 4th Amendment. Jaguars, chance to steal this U.S. history category. Tell me the number of the following amendment to the Constitution. Excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel or unusual punishments inflicted. Jonathan.
The 8th Amendment?
It is the 8th Amendment. That is correct. Movies for both teams. New York, New York, Taxi Driver, Godfather 2, Raging Bull, and The King of Comedy are some of the movies starring what popular... Jonathan.
Robert De Niro?
Robert De Niro is correct. History is the next category for both teams. Put the following events in chronological order. There are 3 of them. Calvin Coolidge is elected president. The stock market crashed, and the Black Sox scandal. Blaine.
Calvin Coolidge, Black Sox, and the market crash.
That is incorrect. Jaguars, chance to steal this U.S. history category. Put the following events in chronological order. There are 3 of them. Calvin Coolidge is elected president. The stock market crashed, and the Black Sox scandal. Gib.
Black Sox scandal, Coolidge elected, and stock market crash.
And stock market, that is the correct order. Very good. Literature is the next category for both teams. This British novelist was awarded the 1981 Jerusalem Prize for his writings against tyranny and despotism, and in which faith is the cornerstone of human freedom. Who is the author of The Quiet American, The Human Factor, and The Power and the Glory? Blaine.
Salman Rushdie.
That is incorrect. Jaguars, chance to steal this literature question. This British novelist was awarded the 1981 Jerusalem Prize for his writings against tyranny and despotism, and in which faith is the cornerstone of human freedom. Who is the author of The Quiet American, The Human Factor, and The Power and the Glory? Gibb.
C.S. Lewis.
It is not C.S. Lewis. We're looking for Graham Greene. Graham Greene. Mathematics is the next category for both teams. What's the average speed of a train traveling 600 miles in 8 hours? Stephen?
125.
That is incorrect. Cougars, chance to steal this mathematics question. What is the average speed of a train traveling 600 miles in 8 hours? Blaine?
80 miles per hour.
It is not 80, it's 75 miles per hour, 75. Next category for both teams is business. What do you call a company that is required by contract to only hire union members? Kevin?
It is closed employment.
Closed employment or closed shop. We will accept either one. History for both teams. Ronald Biggs and 14 cohorts stole $7 million in the robbery of the century. What exactly did the gang rob? Blaine?
A bank.
They did not rob a bank. Jaguars, chance to steal this history question. Ronald Biggs and 14 cohorts stole $7 million in the robbery of the century. What exactly did the gang rob? Stephen?
A train?
It was a train, going 75 miles per hour, I assume. Both teams, U.S. history is the next category. John Hancock's signature on the Declaration of Independence may be the boldest, but only 2 signers of the Declaration served as president. Name them both. Whit.
Thomas Jefferson and James Madison.
That is incorrect. Cougars, chance to steal this U.S. history category. Blaine.
George Washington and Thomas Jefferson.
That 2 is incorrect. Thomas Jefferson is one of them. The other is John Adams. John Adams. Movies for both teams. Movies is the category. Meryl Streep won her first Oscar for what 1979 film? Jonathan?
Dances with Wolves.
It is not Dances with Wolves. Northwest, you have the chance to steal this movie's category. Meryl Streep won her first Oscar for what 1979 film? Michael, you got it in before the buzzer.
West Side Story.
It is not West Side Story. It is Kramer versus Kramer. Kramer versus Kramer. Literature is the next category. It again is another category where you have to give multiple answers, so please listen carefully. Name the authors who created Scrooge, Captain Ahab, and Heathcliff. Blaine?
Dickens. I don't know.
All right, we'll go to West. Chance to steal this literature question. We will finish out the question, which will finish out the game. Name the authors who created Scrooge, Captain Ahab, and Heathcliff. The answer in order would be Charles Dickens for Scrooge. Captain Ahab was Herman Melville, and Heathcliff was Emily Bronte. That does bring us to a conclusion of today's contest here on categories with a final score of Blue Valley West 19, Shawnee Mission Northwest 6. Please take time in your schedule next week to join us right here on categories as we'll bring you another exciting matchup from the area's best high school minds.